Ooh, it's so small and so cool. So let's set up a screen in the testing studio, otherwise known as my garage, and let's see how it works. Okay, so after an enormous amount of work, I am Doug from Doug and Nikki, and I do need to tell you this was provided to us to do a review, but with absolutely no instructions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbox it, talk about some of its features, then we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna give you that Doug score from 1 to 5. If it sucks, I will honestly give you a 1. If it's amazing, I'll give you 5. It's probably somewhere in the middle. But in the meantime, let's unbox it, see what it comes with, talk about some of the features, and then we'll set it up, use it so you can see for yourself what it's like. While the box looks very generic, the packaging is really nice. Definitely thought this out. It does come with some very generic looking instructions. Ooh, it's so small and so cool. Okay, so it comes with some generic normal cards, a lens cover, actually some nice kit to clean the lens if you need to, as well as a remote. So let's talk about the unit itself. Check this thing out. Obviously, it fits in my hand, so this is super portable. It is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and importantly, it is Bluetooth 5.1, which means you're gonna get a very strong signal, lots of range on it. It's 1080p, which is HD, which is gonna be compatible with all of your normal HDMI Fire Sticks and Google Chrome and all that kind of stuff, or you could plug in a memory stick, all those things. Actually, let's talk about that. So you can see it's got that old school VGA plug. It's got a USB-A, an HDMI. You can put it in a micro SD card. I don't know why they call them TF all the time. And obviously you can plug in external speakers and an AV plug, which converts to good old-fashioned RCA plugs. You should know this is 9,000 lumens, so it should be pretty bright, but we're gonna test that out. And then the last thing I wanna show you is, has a focus here, a manual focus, and here is an adjustment for keystoning. Keystoning is whenever you have the projector and it's not dead square in, if it's a little angled up or a little angled down, you always get the image looks kind of like that, and so that will adjust for it and correct for it. See, it's got this mirror cast, which is supposed to work on Android, but it's super annoying and requires you sign up. It's looking for an outside source, so let me go grab one. Okay, so after an enormous amount of work, I have one of the videos that Nikki and I produced for YouTube. And so here's the image. The image is pretty good. Contrast is not the deepest, darkest, but the colors are really good. I think the detail's excellent. I think my main complaint / problem with this system is it is completely Apple-centric, and I don't own a single Apple product, which required me to go through all kinds of craziness. Like in the end, I'm sitting here, you can see I have my laptop hooked up to a cable so that it could hook up to the HDMI, and that was the only way I was able to get it to play. Everything else was super Apple-centric. The audio is good, the remote controller works well, the menus are nice and simple, it just doesn't like anything that isn't an Apple product. And it was a little weird in that the USB-A, like the old school USB, doesn't even work. There's no option on the menu to play with it. In the end, this is a very reasonable product for what we're talking about. I mean, overall, it's light, it's little. Oh, the one other complaint that I am gonna say is it puts out a lot of heat and the fan is pretty noisy. Like I'm sitting off here right to the left of it and I'm like getting hot from this fan. But that's the end of my bitching. I really like the image. I like the way it looks. I love the idea. Its compact size is great. So I think for myself, for what this is, I'm gonna give it a solid 3. A solid 3 out of 5 on the Doug score for a reasonable balance. I think if I was an Apple person, it'd probably be fabulous, would have only taken 2 seconds. But as a Windows Android person, that didn't exactly work out. So I hope that was helpful. We'll see you next time.